everyone. Welcome, people, to ¿Qué tal si hablamos el podcast again, and especially this one. A long time coming. I needed to do a English podcast. Everybody was like, "When are you gonna do one?" I'd be like, "Soon. Just give me a minute." For my first time again doing this English podcast, I have to bring probably the best guest that I ever had here, Gino Rivera. What's up, Gino?
What's good? Gino Rivera here, live in full effect. Glad to be here. Thank you for bringing me back. It's too long, long overdue. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. How's it going, man? How's your stuff going on that down there?
Man, I can't complain. Life is good. It's been a crazy year and it's only February. It's only
Yeah,
February. And so many good things are happening around me. So many good things are happening for the people that I love and the people I train. I'm busier than ever. I feel like I can't get one single second to myself. But I'm happy, things could be a lot worse, right? So what am I
yeah.
complaining? What am I complaining about, right? You know,
You're living life, man. I wanna
that's
start
it.
this with a good, nice question, and after that, I just want us to just jump into the random conversation. What are your goals for this 2025? What are Gino Rivera's
My
goals?
goals. My goals are to leave the business better than I've found it. I say this every year that I'm trying to wrap it up and call it a career. I'm trying to say that, you know what, every year this is my last year. And I'm hoping that this year is where I go, okay, I had so much fun. I'm on my way out. But no matter how many times I say this, they keep pulling me back and they here, I'm there. I can't retire. I tried to, and it's just the business doesn't want me to go away. And I love it, but at the same time, my goal is to help somebody get to a level that they're struggling to get on, and that's what I do around the country. I get booked to do seminars to teach people not only how to wrestle but how to survive in the industry. What worked for me might not work for you, but it might help you in some way, and that's my goal, is to leave the business better than I found it. Because
Yeah.
we all know when we get into the wrestling industry, it's rough, it's hard, it's terrifying, and I want to leave it better. I don't want somebody else to come into my industry and go, "Oh my God, it's so scary," or "Oh, I don't like the." I want them to go, "Wow, this is a great business. I want to be a part of it." So that's my goal.
I like that you say that because that's one of the things I see a lot about you, man. I follow you on Facebook, and I see that almost every other day you post like some advice, some comments about like if you are new in this business, this is what you should do. Even if you're not new, if you're old in this business, you give them like trip advice, how to help themselves get booked, how to get themselves get better promos, better matches, which is something
Oh
that
yeah.
it's awesome because it's like you're a professional at what you do and you want to help other people be professional as you are or better, which is how it should
Yes.
be.
Yes, absolutely. I can't tell you how amazing life works, especially as a wrestler, where not only the advice and the stuff that I give out and put out, the energy I put out, the new people, the future of the business, they love that. They eat it up. But I also get OGs in the game that have been there longer than me coming to me and go, "Hey, you're right." Or, "Hey, I like what you said. I didn't think about that." You
Yeah.
know, um, you don't know everything in this business. And for them to ask me for advice or help or just to give me the big up and be like, "Yeah, man, that was awesome what you said." It validates me, it certifies what I say, and I love it. And all of the things I say is through, experience, like I've gone through it. I've been through it. I don't just make this up and talk about it. These are things that I have personally experienced and I want to help somebody get better. And they say that when you acquire a certain amount of knowledge, you can't take this with you when you die. You
Yeah.
have to give it away, and that's what I do. I acquire all this knowledge from WWE, AEW, TNA, GCW, everyone. Anyone that is willing to teach me, I soak it up like a sponge. And then I take it back to my school and I teach them, or I take it around the country and I get booked for seminars and I teach them because I cannot hold all this knowledge for myself. That's too selfish of me.
Yeah.
I have to give my business back because my business gave to me. And the only way I can do that is by passing on knowledge to people that want to learn.
As a person that I'm an outsider, I'm more a fan, but I like wrestling. I like to see the small details on it. Doing that helps have more healthier matches, which a lot of people maybe don't get. That it's like you want to go into the ring and have a good healthy match that both of you guys get to the back part and be like, that was good, and everybody's safe and nothing bad happened. And that is great, man. I've been
Yeah.
watching wrestling since a kid. I've been this last few years since we last chat. I've been watching wrestling almost every day. I'm watching something about wrestling, and it's like it doesn't matter how bad it looks in the match, any bump.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
they practice that, and like they go back there, and it was like it hard, but it was good. You know, we did a good job out there, and that is great.
And
And that you learning all those advices help all these new wrestlers to like get better and can have
yeah,
healthier matches.
I can tell you right now, I am fresh out of training. I literally got out of training about 44 minutes ago. I just literally got out of training, and the knowledge that I acquire, I pass to my students, and I also let them test things on me. The reason I do that is to ensure their safety. I want them to understand that anything we do in the ring must be practice. Anything we do in the ring must be safe. I don't want you to go into a match and hurt yourself. I want you to go into a match and live to see another day, wrestle
Yeah,
another match, go home to your family. And I say this again from experience because I've been hurt, I've been knocked out, I've been concussed, I've had broken bones, I've lost my teeth. I
yeah,
have short-term memory knowledge. I say this because I don't want what's happened to me happen to them. And these are young, impressionable kids from age 16 to even adults, age 48, that are in my classes. I have about 32 students, and we train Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8 every single week, every single month, all year long. We don't take breaks, we don't take seasons off. You know, we train Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're wrestling on the road, and we do it all over again because
nice.
this is not a hobby. This is a lifestyle. I live, breathe, eat. I don't want to say the other word, and sleep this business, but I love this business. I don't take it so seriously, but I know what this business can do for somebody, and I know what it's done for me. And I want to share that with everyone that enters this business. I love this business, and I want you to love it even more than I do.
Yeah, and I listen. I love wrestling. I love how I feel like I was watching a Raw. I was watching a movie, and I had to have Raw on my phone on the side. I was with my brother, just watching a movie on the TV, and I had the whole time I'm watching, and I'm like excited. I love, and I'm a 32-year-old, almost 33-year-old, but I love how I
Yeah.
can feel when I watch a good match, when I watch a good story, especially promos. Like back in the day, I was more I want to watch a match. Nowadays, I'm like, give me a good promo. I want to hear a good promo. And when I hear them saying things, I'm like, yeah, say it again or say something else. Like it's wrestling give you emotions, which could be good emotions. You can be a little bit angry because your guy didn't won, or you can be happy because your guy won. But that are good. Those are good emotions. As a fan, that's what you need to go and feel. And as a wrestler, your main thing is I want to make these guys feel what me and this other person are doing in the ring. And like,
Yes. Let me tell you something. Have you seen the movie Scarface?
yes, I just was
Of
watching it
course,
the other
right?
day. I love that movie. Yeah,
Right. You know the movie word for word, and you remember when he says, um, what do you want? The world and everything in it, Chico, right? You
yeah.
remember words that they say in the movie, you
I
know?
I can
Um,
quote that part right now, like word for
oh my,
word.
see, yes, everybody, right? So in wrestling, we want to do the same thing. We want to tell a story because yeah, you could go in the ring and do backflips and body slams, and that's cool. But if you don't have a reason to slam this person down, there's no story behind it. But if
Yep.
I say that I'm angry because you disrespected my family, my culture, you made a mockery of me, you embarrassed my people, and we want revenge. When I slam you in the ring, you'll understand why I'm so angry, and you'll feel like, oh yeah, slam him again. He disrespected every Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? He disrespected every Hispanic. He disrespected, you'll be like, do it again, and that's why we do it. In wrestling, we fight for reactions, right? A lot of the newer wrestlers, they don't understand. It's not about winning and losing. Okay. That comes secondary. What is more important is the fan reaction. If they don't respond to what we're doing in the ring, it don't matter. You could win and go, yeah, I won. But if nobody cheers, nobody cares. It
Yeah.
don't matter. But if you go, yes, Gino Rivera, he beat him. Oh, he shut that guy up and he embarrassed him because he embarrassed Gino Rivera and his culture and his people. You feel that. And when they raise my hand, you go, yes, yes. That's why we tell stories in the ring, and promos are what sells the fight. You look at Conor McGregor. Every time I see him, he is da 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 da, and I go, man, I
That's
can't wait to watch him get his butt kicked, or I can't wait to watch him knock somebody out. And you always go, I'm gonna order that fight because the talking, the promos,
and I
they
remember
did it. They sold it.
I will always remember this promo when he says, I will say this to everybody. I apologize to nobody. That's something that always goes in my
Absolutely
nobody.
nobody. Yeah,
See, but
yeah,
that sells you like I can use that in my day to day. When you do things, you're like, I apologize to
yeah,
nobody. It's same with
yeah.
like with wrestling. I heard, I don't know who it was. It was a WWE interview that this wrestler said. Um, somebody gave him an advice of like, if you think you're going slow, go
Go slower.
slower.
Oh
And
yeah.
that blew my mind because it's like, it makes sense. As a fan,
Yes.
as me sitting down there watching a match, when I see them sitting there on the floor, I'm like, I get what they're doing. They're going slower. They're
Yeah.
making the fans get that reaction. Just that
Mhm.
something though that as a kid, when I was a kid, I just wanted my guy to win. As an adult, that's what I
Yes.
want, and it's the reaction. It's not winning. It's
Yeah.
not losing. I don't know. I don't care if my favorite wrestler is losing. Tell me a great match. Show me a story, and I'll be happy. That's what
Yes.
makes me go
One
back and watch it again.
yeah, one of my favorite wrestling stories ever, okay, was Undertaker versus Kane. And we know, the real story. They're not brothers, but as a kid,
Yeah.
Undertaker was my guy. As an adult, Undertaker was my guy. And they sold me the story of they're brothers, and he didn't know he had a brother. He got burned in the fire. Paul Bearer is his dad, who was smitten with Undertaker's mom, and that's how they're half brother. I was invested, and that's what made me go, oh my gosh, I want to see a fight. Who's the better brother, right? And
Yeah.
Undertaker, he would lose. Under Kane would lose, but the story kept me every single month. Mom, can you buy the pay-per-view? Mom, please. I want to see Undertaker and Kane fighting in an Inferno match. Now a
Yeah.
casket. Now it's a Hell in a Cell, a steel cage, whatever it was. The story keeps us going. I do love, you know, the Triple H story with Test when he married
Oh,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
We're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, what kind of guy would do that? He's evil. I don't like him. I can't wait to see him get his butt kicked." So we invest in stories, and that's why promos and vignettes are very important, more important than the action in the ring,
That is
you know?
true.
And that's what saves me. And you wanna talk about, you were watching wrestling. I was watching wrestling before we even started this, you know what I mean? I'm watching the future of the business called LFG,
Oh yeah, I
uh,
heard that
you
show is
know
gonna be good though.
yeah, it's starting okay, but it's what I do is I pick what they're doing in their training rituals and how they see things, and I take it back and I apply it to my school, my students, and then I apply it to myself in the ring. This is what makes me a better professional wrestler than most is I watch everything. I watch
Yeah.
AEW, I watch TNA, Lucha Underground, XPW, WCW, AEW, you name it, I watch it. If it's going on today, I watch it. If it's not, I watch it even more. And I take everything they've done from the 70s, the 80s, and I apply it to my craft today. And for that, I am a student of the game because I keep learning and I keep teaching myself. And I tell people, whoever comes across and wants to ask me for advice, remain a student of the game, and you want to learn every chance you get. Keep watching, keep extending your library and your knowledge because one day you're going to need it, you're going to use it. And that's what I do. I save everything in my memory bank, and when I need it I go, "Oh, I can use this today. Oh, I can use this today. Oh, I know about that. Oh, I didn't know about that, but I save it. So I love it. Everybody that knows me, if you really know me, they know I'm a walking encyclopedia. I know everything about wrestling, but I don't know everything about the wrestling industry as a performer. And that's what I like to learn, you know. As a fan, I can tell you, you know, WrestleMania 9, Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker in Vegas, you know, Doink versus, you know, when he remember when Doink did this when you know with the other Doink, and I can tell you all the fan stuff, but as a performer, I can't tell you everything, and that's what makes me one of the best today. Is I continue to learn. I want to learn. So.
Yeah, and that's how it should be, man. Every day you learn something new. You'll never be the most smartest guy. You'll always be somebody that you have to
Yes.
be always somebody that wants to learn more and more and more.
Mhm.
From
They say
everybody, you're
something
gonna
in our
get something.
business. They say something in our business. I don't mean to interrupt you, but they
That's
say
okay.
when you know everything, get out of the business because you know everything.
Yep.
You don't need to learn. Get out of the business. Learn. You're done. You learned everything. Graduated. But if you want to stay in this business, you keep you open your eyes, you open your ears, and you keep your mouth shut, and you just take it in. You take it all in.
And that's how it should be. I love that. I would love to learn more about the business. I love wrestling. I love the business. As small amount that I know, I love what I see. I love what they do. Um,
Yeah.
I will say this, and I want to see your opinion on this. I think the best kayfabe story is Triple H right now, from where he went to go to DX to be the main guy right now in WWE. If you put that as a kayfabe story, and then you put Shawn Michaels on NXT, it's the best because they went on were anti-corporation to be the owners of the corporation. If you put it that way,
Yeah.
which is great, man. It's awesome. Like I love what the work WWE is doing nowadays. I want to say this because I know you met Savio not long ago. Um, I was at Backlash. I went to Puerto Rico, and the same weekend that I took a trip to Puerto Rico, I went to Backlash. Bro, I almost cried. I'm gonna be honest. On that Bad Bunny match, when Savio came out and Carlito came out, I
Yeah.
lost my voice. I was yelling the whole time. I want to see you in a wrestling match in Puerto Rico because I want you to feel that crowd. I've been in here. I watched here in Fargo a WWE event that they came to
Yeah.
like a live event, and it was fun. It was great. I love it. I want to go to a pay per view though, but I know even if it's a WrestleMania, I know if you go to Puerto Rico to any type of wrestling event, the way the crowd moves, it's a whole different animal. Like,
That's what I hear.
bro, oh my god, I have videos when Bad Bunny came out with his song. That felt like a concert.
I'm there.
And everybody like
Yeah.
that, the room was freaking shaking. Everybody was standing up
Yeah.
singing, you know. Oh
That is
man.
one of my favorite pay-per-views, not because of our culture, but um, it reminded me of Canadian Stampede 1997. Not yeah, it was 1997. It was with the Heart Foundation when they were in Canada, and the building was shaking and everything. Like
Yeah.
every time they played the Heart, you know, British Bulldog came out, Brian Pillman, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, and the place was going crazy. And I was like, this is the greatest pay-per-view ever. Until I see him backlash from Puerto Rico, and I had my little girls, I had my kids watching, and they're Puerto Rican, you know, and it's just they don't they don't understand. They're more Americanized, you know, kind of like me. But just seeing that, they're just like, why is the crowd so crazy? And I said, because they're passionate. Puerto Ricans love wrestling.
We do.
Okay. Like we love family, we're very family, but we love wrestling and baseball. That's
Yeah.
but but like just the fans, every time they punch, you know,
Wow. 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 Oh my god.
you know what I mean? Like, look, I got chills on the back of my neck. Oh my gosh. But like just to see Savio Vega was insane.
It's
And
so
then Carlito, we all knew Carlito was gonna show up, but we didn't know when, right? And it was all perfect timing with Bad Bunny, who's one of the biggest Latin artists in not even Latin, the one of the biggest artists in the
overall.
world,
Yep.
okay? In the world. I just watched him perform his song, I think it was DFT, I forgot, but
One of the
it's
newer
a good
songs,
one.
yeah.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
love that one too. Um,
And something that
but
they
it
didn't
was
show up on
crazy.
TV. Something that they didn't show up on TV was when the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar match ended. Everybody
Yeah,
was like Brock Lesnar was in the ring, you know, doing his whole thing, jumping back and forward, and everybody was like yelling, like "Thank you, Lesnar!" Like the whole, like everybody was showing him his flowers. You know, that pay
yeah,
per view, dude. It's one of my favorite memories of all time. I
yeah,
enjoyed the whole thing. I was there, so happy, so excited. I went by myself. Nobody wanted to go. I went by myself. I was like, I don't
yep,
care. I sat
yeah,
there and bro, I didn't care. I just
yeah.
enjoyed the whole thing. I love it. It was awesome. And
Oh my God, you are so lucky.
when I saw that you
You're
met
so
Savio, I was like, oh my God, I want to talk to you, you know, man. How was
hey,
meeting Savio Vega?
Savio Vega was to me, it was very it's like it wasn't real, you know, because I grew up watching Savio Vega when he had the horrible Caribbean music that was dun 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 right? And they gave him these clothes and I don't know, but it was whatever, you know. And I was like, oh, that's Savio Vega. And Savio Vega in that time, 95, 96, was one of the best workers, the best wrestlers, technical wrestlers. Like he could really go with anybody, you know what I mean? Um, I think he was Quang at one time too, right? I
Yeah, and
believe.
it was TNT, and I'm pretty sure he was Kwang too. But
Quang.
he will
Yeah, and he
like,
would do his,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so seeing that and then him wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then they put him in the Nation of Domination because obviously, look, you know, black people, Puerto Rican people, we might as well be one because we're the same.
yeah,
Okay,
we are.
everybody knows that. To see him in the Nation of Domination, and then you know seeing him disappear, I was like, where did Savio Vega go? I don't understand. Los Boricuas was great, but I just felt like it was lost in a shuffle. So now you fast forward to me joining wrestling, being a wrestler, and then I get the invite, hey, you and Savio Vega are gonna work together. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, you're gonna work together. And I was like, man, I had goosebumps, you know, because it's Savio Vega. He's a god, you know. So when I get to the building, you know, I see him and I look at him and I try to stay out of his way. I try to, you know, watch what he's doing. And I said, that's Savio Vega right here, who wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is best friends with The Undertaker. He's in the clique, you know, and I watch him and I say, hi, Savio Vega. Gino Rivera, nice to meet you. Is there anything I can do for you? And he goes, yeah, give me more money. And I said, I don't know how I get you that. He goes, well, shut the fuck up then. And we laugh, you know, because he was just like everybody wants more money.
Yeah,
But it was a way to break the ice and to tell jokes and laugh. And I thought he was so cool for just having fun. He could have been, you know, in a own locker room by himself and no shaking hands, but he sat next to me, like literally, I'm here, he's right there, and we're joking around the whole time, and he's teaching me things, and I'm like, this is Savio Vega, this is Theo Vega
Tío
right here, like,
Savio.
you know what I mean? And I just watched him on Backlash, so I'm over here like, "Ah." I'm trying to, you know, trying to be a professional, but I can't help but be a fan as well. So it was just so amazing, and he was so nice, and being in the ring with him and then on the outside, you know, listening to him coach me, a young Puerto Rican, you know, just I'm pretty sure he's been in my shoes so he understands, you know, just I was in awe, and I couldn't believe that I was following him to the stage, walking him out. You know, we shared the same bandera, same flag, and it was just wow, like so surreal, so
That's
surreal.
awesome.
It was so
I have
one
my
of the best
small
memories ever.
I have a small story with Savio, like long time ago. I was probably like 14, 15. When he had
Yeah,
IWA at the beginning, they used to go a
yeah,
lot to a town next to where I live. It's called Umacao. And first, we were at the light right before we turned into the stadium. And back in the day, he had like a yellow Hummer, and he was the
yeah.
boss of the company. So he's like the bad guy. He's like, he was. It was awesome to watch him. So my mom is like, "Oh my God, Chris, there's Savio," and I'm like, "Oh, it's Savio." We get into the stadium and he's walking like close to us and he shake my hand. I was like a 14-year-old kid, bro. I was so excited because Savio
Yeah.
Vega shook my hand for 2 seconds.
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah.
wanted a picture. I till today I'm that guy. I don't like to bug famous people for pictures or anything. I will
Oh
I,
man.
I will shake your hand, man, and I will say thank you for what you do. That's what I like to do. If you entertain me in some way, I'll be like, thank you for what you do, man. You do a good job. That's it. And that's what happened when I was a kid. That's my small story with Savio, and I watched him way too many times in Humacao when I was a kid, when IWA was at his prime back in the day. Awesome
Yeah.
stories, man. Awesome matches. I saw people like Ricky Bandera, um, Rey Gonzalez when he was in Rey Phoenix. He turned baby face in Humacao.
Mhm.
I remember
Okay.
that day like it was today. I was in the second floor with my WWE fucking title in my hand, man.
Yeah.
I see Ray because he was back in the day. He was the guy called Ray Phoenix, not the Ray Phoenix now.
Not the new
New
one.
one. It
Yeah.
was Ray Phoenix of Ray Gonzalez, right? And he walks in with a
Yeah.
2x4, hits everybody up, bang, 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 take the mask out, and it's Ray Gonzalez, maldita sea. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's one of those memories that I will have always on me because I was a kid and I enjoyed that so much. And even those small stadiums, if you go and if I have a match there and it's let's say a half a full stadium, you're gonna feel that place go down because everybody will just fall in love with the match and yell by everything that you do and play. People will. One thing that you guys do, and I learned this, is you listen to the crowd and play with the crowd. What you're gonna do
Yes.
your next move.
I do that all the time. Yeah.
And in Puerto Rico, that's a main thing. You're gonna sit there and like play with the crowd because the crowd is so into the match. It's insane. I love
See, it's real there. So I wrestle a lot of fellow Puerto Rican wrestlers from Puerto Rico that come to Colorado, and they don't understand. They go, "Why is the crowd so dead?" And they're not investing, and they don't really respond. And you go home, Puerto Rico, and we give them one look, and they're like, like they're passionate, and I say it's a different crowd. American people, white people, black people's, I don't know, it's just very harder to get American people to invest, whereas Puerto Rican people, they're American too, but like it's just a different on that island. I was told it's like I even see the clips, because I follow Savio, I follow all my friends from there, and I go, how come we don't get that reaction? How come we don't get like these guys? The fans are trying to rush the wrestlers, and stuff. And I want that, and people say, oh no, you don't want that. You can't handle that. It's fun, but it's scary at the same time because they
I
love it.
to the events. I've been to a few events where I met you at a BCW, and I went to the
Yeah.
live event. I
Yeah.
was the only
Toda.
one there, wah, wah, and yelling and
Yeah.
saying things. And I was like, I feel like my brother was like, you're the only one saying things. I can see that
Who
you're Puerto Rican.
cares?
He's like,
Who
I
cares?
love it though.
Yeah. You know
It,
something? To go back to what you said about taking pictures. I used to be the same way because in my profession, it's unprofessional to ask for pictures, right? You see Savio and oh, how you doing, Savio? Nice to meet you, and that's it. But let me tell you something. I may never see Savio ever again,
yeah,
but because I asked to take a picture, I'll have that memory with me forever, and it's somebody that I grew up watching and idolizing. So I remember leaving North Dakota, and I was in the airport, and I sat down, and I see a guy in a leather jacket and jeans, and he has his glasses on, and he's coming my way, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar, and the guy sits next to me, and I see him, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And he goes, hey, you're one of the wrestlers that was at the show last night, right? And I say, yes, sir, that was me. I'm Gino Rivera. He goes, yeah, I'm Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Do you mind if I
oh
sit next to
wow,
you? And I say, oh, no, sit, sit, sit. And we're chopping it up. We're talking nothing about wrestling, just about his dog and just about life. And he goes, oh, that's me. I gotta get on my flight. It was nice talking to you, man. Have a good day. And I say, hey, Sean, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for people like me. I'm a
yeah,
smaller wrestler, and I just want to say thank you. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And he goes to get his stuff. He goes, hey, do you want to grab a picture? And I was like, no, I'm not allowed to. I can't ask for pictures. It's unprofessional. He goes, F that. Get your phone out. And we take a picture. And he wanted me to take a picture with him. And he's like, send it to me. I'll post it on Twitter. And he posted it on Twitter. And
Wow.
for that, like, and he followed me on Twitter and everything. And I just go, man, like, I tell him, I'm sorry, like I thank you for doing this. I'm so sorry. He's like, no, don't be afraid to ask for pictures. He goes, I don't know when I'll see you again. You don't know when you'll see me again. And you grew up, watching me. I want you to have this memory that you personally sat next to me and talked to me and got a picture. You didn't bug me at the airport, waited for me at 3 in the morning like a weirdo. You sat with me and we talked about life for 20, 30 minutes. And I say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for that, I'll never be afraid to ask for pictures. I'll just do it in the right way, the right setting. Not when Savio Vega comes in and he has his bags, then, oh, let me get a picture. But more so, hey, you want to ride to the airport? No, 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 I'm okay. Okay, well, I'm leaving. Do you mind if I get a picture before I go? Yeah, that's the way to do it. But not
Yeah.
like waiting at a 7-Eleven for them,
Yeah.
bugging them, because Vampiro was the same way. Vampiro was like, "You want a picture?" I was like,
That's right. You
"Can
met
I?"
Vampiro too not long
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. Vampiro's and he's been to Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah,
So,
I remember those
uh,
matches with Ricky Bandera, bro. Oh my god,
oh
they
yeah,
were
Ricky
awesome.
Van Bandera was here in Arizona a few months ago too, and he was, oh man, so serious, so
Yeah.
serious. But I tried to prank him, and he didn't like it. He tried to walk out of the door, and I was like, "Grah," and he's like, "You trying to rip me? You trying to rip me?" And I said, "No, no, no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing." And he's like, "I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding." But like, I'll just never be afraid to ask for pictures. I just want to wait for the right time when they're settled down, they ate, they drank, they're
Yeah.
resting, they're relaxing, but I won't do it while they're busy. So that's the proper time to ask for pictures. And because of that, I have all the pictures of all my idols, that I grew up watching, and I just love it. I look at these pictures and I'm proud because I go, wow, like these are my peers. These are people that I know now, and Savio Vega followed me the day after I posted the picture with him. If he didn't like me and
Nice.
he didn't care, he wouldn't have followed me, but he obviously liked me enough to follow me. So, I
Nice.
don't regret asking for Savio's picture.
I'm that way. Like if I meet somebody that it's either famous or I like what they do, I'd rather talk to them. Let's talk because most people will go like that. Can I take a picture? No, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
how you doing, man? Like,
Let me know you.
yeah, I'm a follower, man. I like the shit that you do.
Yeah.
How you
And that
been? Are
we
you
left
good?
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and then
We
if
talked
the
about his dog.
yeah, and if the picture comes out, fine. But I'm not the guy that is gonna come out like, oh my god, I need to take a picture. No, 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 I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I like, let's say, no, I would love to meet somebody like Triple H. Let's say I met him at one point in my life. I would love the picture, but I'm not gonna run for it. I just want to shake his hand and say, thank you for what you have done for this business. I've been watching you since I was a kid, and watching you where you are today, it's crazy for me. And I'm happy with that. If that's the story I have to tell, if it ever happens, I'm happy with that, man. You see,
I think I told you the story about the Undertaker, right?
I'm not sure, not sure. But tell me though, I'm
So
pretty sure it's gonna be a good one.
it's a very good one because it reminds me of what happened with while you're saying it. So I was in line to meet the Undertaker. I never ever would pay to meet any wrestler in the world, but I got the chance to meet the Undertaker in I think 2019 or 2018, one of them. And I remember staying in line for hours, and then it was finally my chance to meet the Undertaker. And the Undertaker is standing in back of me, and he's waiting because he's waiting to take the picture. And I'm over here fumbling my phone. I'm going, take the picture like this. Make sure you do it like this, okay? And the lady's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. And the whole time, the Undertaker's like this behind me, waiting. And everybody in front of me is going, turn around, turn around. And I'm like, yeah, 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 I know, whatever. And I finally turn around to the Undertaker and I see him like this with his arm out, with his handshake out. And I go, hi. And I stay next to the Undertaker. I take the picture and I walk away. And I grab my phone and I just leave. I got so nervous and starstruck that I forgot to tell the Undertaker what you tell people is I just want to say thank you for you are the reason I am in this business. Inside of my boots, I have purple because it reminds me every day of why I do this is because the Undertaker got me involved. And I wanted to tell him that. And I got so starstruck and nervous and overwhelmed that I didn't say anything to him. and I regret it. And I hope I get the chance again one day to go, I don't want a picture. I just want to tell you thank you because you are the reason why Gino Rivera is Gino Rivera, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do, and I did not do that. And I literally walked away. I walked away. I said nothing to him.
And
Stood in line for hours. I said nothing.
it happens. It happens. So it's part of like learning and getting into that habit of like, okay, I wanna talk and I wanna humanize you. You know, I wanna make you a human. Everybody sees you as the wrestler. I wanna see you just as a human being. Because that
Darby
way,
Allen did
huh? Yeah.
Darby Allen did that with me. When we wrestled each other in Phoenix, he just basically goes, "Hey man, I don't wanna know the wrestler you. Tell me about your family. Tell me about you." And I said, "Oh, wow." And we just talked about family. And then
Nice.
when it was time to do the match, he's like, "All right, let's talk about the match." And that was it. So I know a little bit about Darby that others don't know,
Yeah.
so every time I see him at AEW, he doesn't have time to talk, but he knows me and he goes, "Hey, what's up?" You know?
Yeah, there's already a small connection made in between you
Yes.
guys for the conversation. And that's awesome, man. Um,
Yeah.
how was it meeting Vampiro too, though? Because I think you got choke slammed by Vampiro or something like that, though.
Oh
That would be an
my gosh,
honor.
Vampiro is he is so funny. He is so funny, and, I've heard for years all the bad stories. I'm a podcast listener. I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all day. And I hear Conan about Vampiro and, Vampiro about Conan. And I don't know. I got the chance to work with Vampiro and he couldn't be more nice. He couldn't be more funnier. He was coaching me and just being a nice person. And for that, like I thought I was going into this thinking, Vampiro's gonna be a jerk and he's gonna be the worst person around. And I heard this, I heard that, and I was judging a book by its cover until I got to open the book and read and find out who this man is. And Vampiro is probably one of the best wrestlers I've ever met personally. And the experience he gave me and how he was just so friendly, so cool, so relaxed. And I can't wait to work with him again. Much love to Vampiro. Thank you so much for working with me. But I won't forget that choke slam.
I want to say this since you say you're a podcast listener. I love where the wrestling industry is nowadays with podcasting and showing like the back scene of like WWE is doing it a lot, showing all the back scenes of the pay per views on Raw and all this stuff. Because it, like I said before, it humanizes the wrestler and it makes you feel more connected to the business. When I see
Yes.
what's happening in the background, I love more what's happening on the match. So
And
I can see where their brain is going. Like, okay, have him do this or have them move here or what's happening. It makes me love more the business because you see the work put on, not just in the match, the work put on in the background.
why I'm
Yeah,
watching this. That's why I'm watching. Because I'm
yeah,
more interested in what's going on in the back and what makes the show versus what's in the ring. I
uh,
want to see how the train moves,
yeah,
what's in the engine. I don't want to see the exterior, right? I
yeah.
want to see inside and how it keeps chugging along because this eventually helps me and I help other wrestlers.
And that's how it should be. That's the way you learn. I like this, and podcasting has opened like the Undertaker. That's a whole character. But now you have a
Mhm.
podcast from the Undertaker, and you hear all these backstories of like what happened in this match, what happened in the background, what happened in the locker room. And it's like, God damn, these people like go through some stuff every day that they're on the road, you know. I love it. I do podcasts. I listen to podcasts too, and I personally I love it. I even like football. I'm not a football fan, but I have listened to stories of football players. I love it because it puts me on like, okay, that's where what's going through their mind at that
Yes.
time. That's what going to the that's the situation that was happening, which is awesome. I love that we're more open to just not see them as sport people they are, just as humans too, which is awesome.
Yes, I agree. I'm the same way with MMA and boxing, like I'm not really a big MMA guy, but I like watching the documents, docu-series and what leads up to the fight. And I go, okay, I like seeing them with their family. I like seeing them normal, and then I like seeing them be killers in the ring. So,
Yeah.
and that's something for me. I don't really let a lot of people into my private life. I'm extremely private. But when I open the book a little bit, people go, "Ooh, wow, Gino Rivera! I never seen that side of him." And then they fall in love with the character because they understand, like, wow, there's more to me than just the guy in the ring. There's a lot to me. There's a lot to the puzzle that makes me. So I think people gravitate towards that, and they go, if they listen to my story, my life story, and they understand like what I've gone through, and they realize, wow, like, how are you not the worst person in the world? I just go, I don't know. I love life, and I don't have to be this way. And I hope people look at Gino Rivera and they go, role model versus Gino Rivera, bad guy. I don't like him. I hope they go, wow, what a fun character to watch in the ring, out of the ring. I want to know more. And when they find out who I am, I hope they go, great wrestler, great character, role model.
Nice. What do you think about this Penta El Cero Miedo being in WWE now?
I am so excited for Penta. I know him personally.
Oh
I
shit.
literally, man, I was literally on a show with him a few months ago in Arizona, in Phoenix, and same thing. I didn't want to get a picture. I was like, oh, too scared. No, 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 no. So I just know him as the wrestler, and I just was like, I'm gonna go sit outside in the fans, and I'm gonna watch his match as a fan. I don't want to watch it as a performer or a friend or a coworker. I want to watch it as a wrestler. And when I watched Penta, like, he deserves everything he's gonna get. He works so hard. He's a family man. I love to see the culture, Hispanic people, Spanish people. I love to see people succeed, because it's not every day that one of us gets to accomplish our dreams. It's not every day, and to
Yeah.
see Latino um, empowered in the WWE is so amazing, and I love to see that, and I hope we see more of that because there's only one Rey Mysterio. There's only one Carlito. There's only one Carlos. There's only one. Um, uh, I can name every. I don't want to see Invader, but there's only one. There's only one of one. But like with
Yeah.
Penta, there's only one. There's only going to be one Penta, and I hope he goes to the tippy top of this industry because if he wins, we all win.
That is true.
Whether he's Mexican, Cubano, Colombian, it don't matter. If he wins because he's Latin, we all win. And we should all be happy and push and watch when he's on TV. Give him the highest ratings. Buy all of his merchandise. Support another Latino in the industry because it's not every day that someone breaks the mold. They always push the same cookie cutter type of wrestlers, the same this guy, muscles, body guy. But what about the Latinos and the culture? And
Yep.
and I encourage more little boys and girls to invest in our culture and just make sure they understand what's really happening. This is the guy who started from nothing, who worked so hard to get where he's at, and I just hope he gets the love he deserves, the money he deserves, the success, and I hope his family is happy.
I just listened to his interview with Chris Van Vliet, and
Yes, me too.
I will say this: his English decent, and I love that he's trying. I
He's
will,
trying.
I love that because that's how it should be. You should not be scared. You talk, even if you say
Yeah.
something like I have an accent. I get it. I don't say everything right, but I'm not scared to talk. I'll talk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love that he did that. And one thing that I said to my friend was, I want to see Penta now that he's in WWE in 2 years. Better English, it's gonna be better promos, it's gonna be
Yeah.
more going more. And if he does that, it shows that he cares more and more and more on connecting with people. And I
Let
hope
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I had an opportunity with WWE, and they told me two things: to learn Spanish and to get bigger, right? And I failed to do both. Okay, I failed. That's on me. Um, with Penta, they're telling him, learn English. Penta, learn English. The sky is the limit. You don't know what could happen for your career. There's a lot of Latino. talent that got signed, and all they had to do is learn English to get a push or to get a better opportunity, and they didn't. Mystico. We have Andrade, who still struggles with English.
Yep.
We have Grand Metalik, who speaks okay English but doesn't care to. But this is WWE is a global entity and a English dominated program. So to learn English for him is going to do him wonders. He will be the next guy to replace Rey Mysterio until his brother comes in.
I want to say this. We're almost done, but I want to say this though. When I started watching wrestling was when Rey Mysterio and Dominic were as a tag team, and I
Yes.
told my brother, if they break it, if they break them, they turn Dominic, and they give him time, that kid is gonna be good. I told my brother that,
Future champion.
and bro, that happened like 2 months after. And
Yeah.
every time I'm watching wrestling and my brother is close, or I'm watching something about Dominic, I'll tell my brother, "Do you remember that I told you this?"
Yeah.
Oh, bro, he gets the he knows how to do it. And
Yes. Yes.
people can't open their mouth because I have heard people and I've seen comments in the internet like he's there because he's a Mysterio. No, he's there because he loves the business.
He's there
Because
because he's good.
he's good
He's
and
there
he
because
loves
he
the business.
listens.
Yep,
He listens, he understands, and he takes knowledge. He's coachable. In wrestling, you have to be coachable in any aspect of life. You have to be coachable. If you want to succeed as a truck driver, you got to learn and listen, right?
yep.
And Dominic Mysterio is one of the hardest working wrestlers today. He had more matches, I think, than anyone for, I think, was it 2023 or 2022 or one of them, where he was on the road every single day, and that's how he earned the respect of John Cena, Seth Rollins, Sheamus. They beat that kid up. Rey Mysterio said, "Hey, teach him the right way. Don't kill him, but teach him the right way. I'm gonna step
Yeah.
out of his business. He's a grown man." And because Rey Mysterio let him figure it out on his own and go hang out there with John Cena's and Sheamus and everybody, today I get to watch Dominic walk the halls of WWE with his head held up high, and everyone respects him. And that's what we all want in wrestling. That's what we all want in life, is for respect. Dominic has earned respect. He's earned his spot. This is a future champion.
It is.
Dominic will be a Hall of Famer when I am no longer here. I don't know, but I tell you, I promise you, Dominic will be headlining a WrestleMania sometime somewhere.
Oh, I love when he came out for his match against Ray, and he came out like from Yale.
I was
Oh my
I was
god!
there at WrestleMania.
Oh, you
Yes, I
were.
saw that.
Oh,
I could not believe it. I was like, this is so cool. This is
that's
so
but
cool.
that's how you sell. That's how you get me there, get me going. I want to see what is happening right now. And
Yes,
like,
I
okay,
agree.
I'll say this. I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm not a big Jey Uso fan, but I get what Jey Uso won the Rumble. That kid is over. That
He's
kid is
over.
up here. Like it makes sense, and that's when
Can
you
I tell you
see.
something?
Say it.
I can tell you this. The WWF Championship is for the person that sells the most merchandise, okay? Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, you know what I mean?
Cody Rhodes
Hulk
nowadays.
Hogan, Cody Rhodes, right? They sell the most merchandise. It does not necessarily mean you are the best wrestler. The Intercontinental Championship is the best wrestler belt, okay?
True.
Um, and I think Jay Uso, I'm not a hater. I would like to see him become champ, but I would like to see him become the WWE champion, not the world championship. That solidifies you to me. Um, and even if he wins, it still doesn't mean to me that he's the top guy. And I got to work with Jey Uso, during the rap battle for WWE. I
Oh,
was the sailor.
yeah, I remember that.
That
Yeah, I've
was
seen
me.
that. Yeah.
And he's the most wonderful, magnificent man. But I just think it's just, if he wins, he wins. There's nothing, he needs to be where Roman Reigns is at. But he does sell the most merchandise. It's on record. He
He's
is
over.
over. He's
So
over like
over.
crazy, but he's just not the favorite wrestler for everybody. Cody Rhodes is the favorite,
Yeah.
so.
But and that's we don't mean that with no hate. We mean that
Nope.
as we can see it from the outside and we can understand why it's happening.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when he
He
won, I was
will
like,
win at
ah,
WrestleMania though. He will
yeah,
win at WrestleMania.
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure he will, and because
He
and
will.
it makes sense. It
It
does
does.
make sense because it's gonna be a battle of like, okay, he might not be the best wrestler, but it's against Gunther, which I think is one of the most insane wrestlers and workers nowadays,
Yeah.
and one of the best sellers. He can sell you story. So
Yeah. You
I want to see
reward
that.
good you reward good behavior. He sells merchandise, he makes kids happy. He stayed out of trouble. No more DUIs,
Yeah, he cleaned
no more
himself.
getting arrested, right? You reward good behavior. And I do think they rewarded that with the Royal Rumble win. And then they'll solidify that with a title victory. Yeah, he holds it for about 3 months, 4 months. Hey, there's your reward. And then they take it off.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
which
No
is
hate.
okay. No hate, which is okay. I mean, he's it's not like I love all the matches. Like everybody right now on that roster is awesome. On Raw and
Yeah.
SmackDown, NXT, like I just became a fan of Jordynne Grace. Just, bro, I
Yeah.
that
Jordan
woman.
Grace is
Oh
awesome.
my god, that woman looks. I see her. I'm like,
Incredible.
if I say something to her, she'll slap me, and I'll freaking move out of the country with that slap. Like I'll just fly out of the country.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
She's a beast. She's a beast.
Well, man, I wanna say one thing quick. I wanna have one quick reaction from you on this. How it was to be in the ring with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre.
Um, Drew McIntyre beat me up in the Royal Rumble 2019. He was the entry number 16, okay? And I was in the conga line and I was doing my thing. And he picked me up for a belly to belly and he threw me over his head. And it's on the WWE network. You can see it, it's everywhere. So working with Drew McIntyre was great, but with Cody Rhodes being on SmackDown, he's the WWE champion. I can tell you it was just being so close to the WWE champion. A lot of people don't get that opportunity, and I got to literally hold this man back. That boy is strong. That boy is strong, and I can tell you it's just the most amazing feeling in the world. I don't know what heaven feels like, but if heaven is anywhere close to what it feels like stepping into a WWE ring, man, after my babies are happy and living life, I can't wait to get there because being in the ring is special. It's not like being in an independent ring. It's where I wanted to be my whole entire life, and WWE is just it's on fire. WWE wrestling is so cool, and now we have somebody that is such a great role model to the kids, has a great smile. He's a family man. You know what I mean? He's married to an African American woman, has an African American daughter, which is beautiful. I love to see interracial relationships. This is a man that cares about not just his people, not just one type of race, but he cares about the world. He works tremendously hard, and you can see it in his work ethic. There's nothing that Cody Rhodes will not do. There's nothing that Cody Rhodes won't do to keep a fan happy. You see him, kids, they're reaching, oh, he missed that one, and he'll come back and he'll get that kid, and I love to see it because it reminds me of Bret Hart. Bret Hart would take the glasses and give it to the kids,
Yeah,
and hands, and I just Cody Rhodes is the man, and there's no one. I don't know who's going to take over after him, but you have some big shoes to fill because he took John Cena's shoes and he ran with it. Now we'll see who picks up the ball and goes after Cody. But Cody's going to be around here for another 10 years, and I love to see it. He deserves everything that he's getting. So working with him was just a dream come true, and being close to the WWE champion, uh, I get the words. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that WWE allows me to come back there, learn, eat with them, and listen and just have fun. Anytime I get an opportunity to step into the ring or be on the show is a blessing, and I'll never take that for granted. So thank you, Cody Rhodes, and thank you, Drew McIntyre. Thank you, WWE. Thank you, everybody.
I like to close my podcast with one deep question. and I want to see
Yes.
your answer. If tomorrow was your last day, and after you
Yeah.
pass away, you get to read the book of your life, do you feel accomplished? And do you feel happy about reading that book?
I love that question. Since it's the last question, I want to tell you that yes, if I was to pass away tomorrow and um, there was a book that I could write how I feel about my life and wrestling, just in general, would I feel accomplished? The answer is heck yes. Hell yes. Everything I've ever done in wrestling, I literally could walk away tomorrow and say, you know what? I had a hell of a ride. I made so many kids happy. I made so many families excited. I made so many fans angry. I sold a lot of merchandise. I won over 23 championships in my
Damn.
17-year career. I've worked for the WWE, AEW, Tony Khan, Vince McMahon. I've met my heroes. I've collected all my favorite memorabilia as a kid, that I couldn't buy when I was little. Now I'm an adult. I buy everything. I can tell you with one answer, yes, I feel so accomplished in my career and I would not change anything. I don't regret anything. I love life. I'm so happy. And I hope my children, when I do pass away, I have this little bucket in my office. It's a big container and I save everything, newspaper clippings, pictures, posters, everything. I hope that one day when I pass away and they go through that bucket, I hope they go, man, my dad had a lot of fun. My dad was a main eventer here. He went here. He's got all these belts and all this gear and boots and mask and he's in the newspaper. Look at that. That's him in the WWE. That's him with the Undertaker. Like I know that they're gonna smile because they'll know that I'll pass away and I'll be happy. I won't be sad. I won't be bitter. I won't be angry like, "Oh, I never got to do my dream. I never got to do this." I live my dream every day, and they know that. And all the sacrifices I've made for my family when I'm not here and I can't be here or when I'm out training my kids when I should be with my other kids. I say this. I've made so many other people's children happy that I forgot to make my own kids happy. All right. And that kind of hurts my soul. But I know in the long run, they'll know that I did this all for a good reason. And it was to make them happy at the end of the day, to give them what I couldn't have as a kid. And that's why I do this, is to change my family's life forever. Not because, this is a hobby and I want to do it. It's more to support their happiness. I can't always be around. I'm not gone 300 days a year, but I am gone maybe 45 weeks out of the year, because I'm training, I'm also traveling. So yes, life is great and I feel it's deeply accomplished for everything I've done in wrestling.
That is awesome, man. That is
Yes.
great, man. Thank you for that.
Oh, don't be crying now. Don't be crying.
Nah, I will always end this. First of all, I want you to promote everything. If you have any show, this is coming up next Monday. So promote any show, promote your
Okay.
school, anything that you want, promote it.
Yes. Guys, this is Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. You can catch me all around the United States. I have Montana, El Paso, Texas, Arizona, California, you name it, I will be there. I have a lot of merchandise. You guys can check me out all over social media at one word, Gino told you so. I respond to everything. You can book me in my seminars, catch me at live events. I got a few exciting things happening over the next few weeks. And check out my school, Off the Ropes Pro Wrestling in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we train tomorrow's wrestler. Thank you so much for giving me your platform to showcase my skills, my talent, my stories, my life. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. I hope we do this more often, man. I love your stories. Like I'm a wrestling fan. Sitting down here with you is like
Yeah.
it's all of me. I love it. And the last interview. So everybody check that interview that we did before because it was a little bit more personal. You tell a few stories that everybody loved, and it was a little
Yes.
bit more personal. I love that this one was more like the entertainment, small history stories of the locker room and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love to sit down
Hell
again
yeah.
with you.
We gotta do a third part. You
Yeah,
know, we'll
we
check back
definitely
in a
do
few
it.
months, see where we're at.
I want to say this because I promote this always on my podcast. People remember, hate is a big word, and it's the
Yes.
biggest feeling of them all. When you feel hate, you don't know how to feel anything else. Remember that. Don't hate, dislike, and it's okay to say the word. Just don't put feelings behind it. There should be no hate. We should believe with love. That's the second most biggest feeling for us. Don't let that never go to the biggest one, that is hate, because you make your biggest mistakes when you hate. But you can make some bad ones, but you can make your best decisions when you love. So remember that, people. Stop the hate. Let's love everybody. Let's work together. Let's do this thing. Thank you, Gino, man. I wish you the best. I want to keep seeing you on social media doing all your things because you're
Yes.
everywhere every week. I hope if you're ever back in North Dakota, we can meet again and probably do this in person and have some fun there too. And
Oh
man,
yeah.
thank you for the time. Hearing your stories makes me feel like a kid because I'm a big fan of wrestling. So I know you met a lot of my heroes. So thank you. And hopefully we can see each other again, man. Take care, Gino. ¿Qué
Thank
tal si
you.
hablamos? See you guys.